Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Pomona Southside Historical Society, another historical area view. And today's subject is General Dynamics, the old General Dynamics site. And I used to work there, and that was my badge. That's what I looked like back then. Whoa, did that ever bring back memories? Now, that picture was probably taken around 81, 82. I left there about 85 or 86 because they were winding down and they're cutting back and pretty much they were going to start closing. And after I left there, I went to go work for the school district here in Pomona. Now, some of the buttons you see here, you see the phalanx gun. At one time later on, before I left, I was starting to work with the heavy equipment operators. They call them riggers. Lee Zandarino and Lee Snyder, both two great guys to work with. And I'd help them move phalanx guns and onto the trailers, get them shipped out, get them ready to get to the yard, Navy yards. And the Viper, loaded up some Viper missiles along with them, Ram missiles. And also, I did do a job at the time I didn't know I had to do with the space shuttle. They had just called me in one late night and had me unload up this crate. And then maybe a week or so later, one of the engineers came up to me and gave me this space shuttle pin. And he said, they just want to say thank you for your help. Oh, really? Okay, cool. So anyway, that's what that space shuttle pin is all about. So yeah, it was a trip. It was really, you got to see a lot of neat stuff there working for General Dynamics. A lot of neat, interesting stuff. Okay, I'm going to take you, like I said, a historical tour, and I'm going to talk about this tunnel that was used. It used to go underneath the 71 freeway, and it's still there to this day. So anyway, let's get on with the area view, and let's get on with the show.
Yeah, down here on West 2nd Street at the old General Dynamics location. There's a couple buildings here that are still left over from the old General Dynamics. Now where I'm staying at used to be one of the entrance drive-ins to get inside General Dynamics, but that building over there where the trailers are backed up to, that used to be known as Building 2. That's on the corner there, right where the trailer is at, is where shipping and receiving used to be. And then down at the far corner was the cafeteria. Yeah, they had a big old cafeteria down there. So this building stretched out quite a bit, and that's where they also built the phalanx gun system. Now the row of trailers that you see over here was where I used to work. There's a building there, it's called Building 5. That was a maintenance and facility. But Building 2, it's the only one that's left here. They used to have a dock wrapped around the whole, just about the whole building, but they took that out when they refurbished the whole building. Liquid lumber or something is in there, some wood products or something. But anyway, across from here is another building. It's a storage facility now. Now this one here on this corner, there was a stage with an auditorium. And we have our union meetings sometimes in there. And then the other half was offices. I believe it was a Navy that had office in there. But yeah, this is the last building here left of General Dynamics. Can't remember what number the building was, but yeah, there was an auditorium in there and also some offices that the Navy occupied. And down that way further would be like Building 1, employment, and also where the big shots Navy office were at. But that's not the building. The building's been torn down already. So, okay, I'm gonna make my way down to further at the end of on 2nd Street. I'm gonna talk about a tunnel that's still there. Okay, now we're coming to the end of 2nd Street, where it used to join on to the 71 freeway. But right over to between that light post and the light and these trees here, there was a tunnel, and it went underneath the freeway to get to the other side of General Dynamics. So anyway, yeah, and check it out. When I was watching them tear stuff down over here, all they did with the tunnel was just stuff it with a bunch of concrete junk and stuff from buildings that they had torn down, and just covered the holes up with dirt and landscaped it, and that's what it looks like today. But the tunnel is still underneath the freeway. It would have been, I don't know, I think it probably would have been nice if they might have left it to get better access to those soccer fields on the other side there that occupies, excuse me, the other part of General Dynamics' old site over there. So anyway, yeah, this is where the tunnel used to be, and it used to go underneath the freeway. But like I was saying, it got covered up. The tunnel's still there, but this is what it looks like today. Okay, right where the hand's at, that's the corner of 2nd Street and Oak. Just trying to give you a bearing here. And I live about right here. And let me see, let's cruise over here. The train's going by. Sorry about that. But yeah, going west here on 2nd Street, starting to go towards the old General Dynamics plant. And here is the recycling plant here that's still there today. So let me zoom in. The year is 1980, so I'm trying to get close to the years that I was working. I worked there from 1978 to about 1986. So let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, back up. Okay, like I said, this is the recycling center on Oak and 2nd Street. Then we'll start going west more. Now I'm going to point out some buildings there at West 2nd, or at the old General Dynamics plant. Now right here, you begin to start seeing, this is the place where they would take stuff they don't need anymore. So like old furniture and stuff like that, and then they send it out to get disposed of. This is where they would fix the vehicles, the gas station where you fill your cars up. And you can see some cars here parked. And supervisors were able to get a car and take them to different areas of General Dynamics, because we had a plant out in Cucamonga, and plus we had other sites around Pomona that they would need a car to get to. So sometimes they would get a car from the garage here, check it out, and then go take care of business. Now we're coming up to, this is building 2. The building that's still there today. At this corner was where they did a lot of plating for circuit boards. Now, I talked about the cafeteria, and this is where it was here, where the hand is now. That's where the cafeteria was open to everybody to go eat. This is building 1, where we come unemployment in the hospital and stuff. And then this is where the big shots, the generals from the Navy's office was at. Now I talked about this building also, which has a stage and then offices through here also. Now here, this is where shipping and receiving was. Now this row of buildings here was building 5. That's where I worked. That was my department, maintenance and facilities. I was a forklift operator, and I just unloaded trucks and delivered furniture and all that stuff. And but then I ended up working over at this warehouse away from everything. And this is where I was, where the Phalanx gun system was at, and they would take the gun system over there to test it. So yeah, that's what that was all about. The building is still there. These Kwanzaa huts are gone, but they replaced it with other buildings. And this building here got a lot longer. It stretches out to here now. So anyway, you know, sometimes when we had to live lathe machines, that's what we had in here to get shipped out. I would have to come over to building 5. See over here. See, we get on the freeway when 2nd Street was able to get on the 71 freeway like it used to. And then we come over here on the turnoff, come back right here, and then go to work. Now there was times where I had to come back and get a big forklift from the yard here, drive it out, down the 2nd Street, yeah, get on the freeway for a short distance, and then drive it and get off here and come over here and do my job. But then when I was through with the forklift, I would come back and get back on this road, go underneath the 71 freeway, and then hang a U-turn with this big forklift. And I had somebody behind me in a little truck following me. And I come over here and I get back onto the freeway with this big forklift, watch myself in the traffic, because it's a freeway. So I'd come down here, and then there was a turnoff right here that people used to be used to get down 2nd Street. And there was a light, so I had to sit there and wait for the light. And then I'd be able to turn and come back down and return the forklift. But you talk about a hairy situation. Sometimes these people, they see you, but they just zoom around you. I'm on this forklift. So yeah, it got a little crazy there. So anyway, but okay. I was going to talk about this tunnel. All right, coming back down this way, Building 5, and this is security station. This is where you would get your badges like the one I showed you. Now here's the tunnel. Here it is. Here's the beginning of the tunnel. Let me zoom in. There's the tunnel right there. Now going up the freeway, and take you over to the other side to Building 4, I believe that was. And Building 4, I later on worked at 2000 census. I was a lead person there. And also I was a lead person there at General Dynamics after a while for maintenance. But yeah, that tunnel would take you all the way over here, and so you can get to the other side. And here's a ballpark that everybody got to use, the gym, weight room. I mean, we really had it made over here, tennis courts. We have parties in these buildings over here. And they would bring in a Budweiser truck, a trailer, with the roll-up doors. And they would park it along here on a baseball field. And there would be tappers coming out the side of these roll-up doors. Like the kind of trailers you see at stores if they're unloading kegs or, cases of beer. Well, these had tappers coming out the side of the doors. And just bring your container, whatever it might be, 5 pitchers or a trash can if you can get away with filling it up. But oh boy, I tell you, they really they did that when we won contracts, and they also did that when they at Pomona Mining Company they had an open tab, and everybody would go up there at the bar, open tab. Yeah, remember when nobody drove off the hill. But also I want to talk about right here, see where the hand's at? There was some horseshoe pits. Why they were there, I have no idea. But there was 2 sets of horseshoe pits right there in that corner. And nobody ever used them. But the horseshoe pits were way over here underneath these trees. But why they were over here, I don't know, maybe security or somebody, or used them? I have no idea. But yeah, that's the tunnel I wanted to talk to you about. It's still there, but like I said, they just stuffed a bunch of concrete stuff in there and just covered the entrances with dirt, and then landscaped it, and that's what it looks like that's what it looks like now, back then. Also, let me go back in time a little bit, because I'm going to throw a little tidbit at you with some pictures. Okay, let's go 1946. Nah, you see that? Nothing but orchards. Walnut fields, really. Here's the 71 freeway here. Now, I'm going to include some pictures back then of the curb here on 2nd Street was poured in 1926. This is 1946 here that this picture was taken. So this is what it looked like back then. Let me zoom out a little bit. back then. This is where General Dynamics would later on be built. This is the Mission of Fifth Avenue, and it swings out this way. The 71 freeway didn't really go anywhere south. It just took up north. And this is the area where my warehouse, where I would work at. But getting back on 2nd Street, yeah, look at all the walnut fields, all the way down. And then about right, where was it? Right here, I think a chicken ranch. It's right there. And my house is still there. My house was built in 1932. Zoom in on it. Oak Street didn't go all the way through. And my house is about, I think it's about right here. The house next door to me was built in 1911, so that's a pretty good old house. But anyway, you have the curve. The picture I'm going to include later on after this piece was poured in 1926, and it's still there. How you like that? See, here's some more farmhouses back then that were out there. Probably for the orchards. So anyway, and this building right here, this is Broadex building, where the hands out. They're the ones that made machinery to process the fruit trees. And also, their names are on a lot of the crate labels. Down in the corner, you'll see it says Broadex. And that's these people right here. And up here, this is First Street. First Street didn't really go too far. And in here at Oaks, really. So, anyway. But anyway, that's it. History of General Dynamics. You know, like I said, I used to work there.
Real quick, in part of that video I was talking about on the area view, and I pointed at building 1, I mentioned it was the unemployment office or building. No, it was the employment building. And also, you know, I pointed out to where you get the badges. That's also where the fire department was located at for General Dynamics. They shared the same building as security, where you got your badges. But yeah, I just want to make that quick correction because I know somebody's going to come back and says, Rand, you said unemployment. It's supposed to be employment. So I just want to make the correction right now. Okay, let's get back to the video.
You see that building over there across the tracks? That was the old Phalanx gun system test center. In those bays there, they would put Phalanx gun systems that you see on battleships. It's the Gatling gun with the big white dome. And then they would test it for maneuverability and tracking. So they would set the phalanxes in there and watch them go through their steps and stuff. And when I was working over here at the warehouse behind it, when I first started General Dynamics, I'd come over there and watch them go through their steps and stuff. And it was pretty interesting, watch how fast those guns move. But yeah, the test facility is still here, as you can see. Looking a little shabby, but it's still here. The Phalanx Gun System Test Center here at the old General Dynamics site.
Okay, I'm going to leave you off with the pictures of the curve that was poured in 1926. And also another picture that looking down, you can see some portions of it's painted white. Well, that was back from the old General Dynamics days with unloading and loading, you know, passengers. So right in that area, there was a gate, a security gate that people walked across the street from either the parking lot that used to be there across the street, or get dropped off by, you know, somebody, and then that white zone was for unloading. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting that the curve is still hanging around. 1926. It's a long time ago. So anyway, you know, I hope you enjoyed this little adventure with me about General Dynamics and a little bit of history that I know about since I worked there for a short period of time. But anyway, you know, like always, you're welcome to join me in my little historic adventures. And you know, like always, you take care and you take care of those ones you love. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.